over the history of Joe Biden's career, he's had, let's say, problems with issues of plagiarism. They say history doesn't repeat itself, but it damn sure rhymes. And here we are again. Welcome to the Soapbox. Hello everyone, my name is Jamarl Thomas. This is the Progressive Soapbox, and like I said in the beginning, history doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes. And yeah, here we are again. So, back in 1988, this is how they dealt with issues of then presidential candidate Joe Biden lifting lines from other candidates' speeches. Now, this is also during the time where it came to light that Joe Biden had plagiarized 5 pages on his research paper and failed that class, had to beg to get that expunged, and had to repeat that class. Now, after failing that class and repeating that class, he ended up with a B in that class, but this was somewhat notable considering he got caught plagiarizing again, this time running for a presidential campaign. This is how they covered it back then. This was Biden's response.
This comes in the middle of another controversy about plagiarism in Biden's campaign speeches. Today, he dismissed charges that he routinely adopts phrases from other politicians' speeches.
By the way, the issue is not so much that you're picking up each and everything that a person says, more so as giving attribution to it. Okay, that's their issue with it. He's attributing things to himself that he himself did not say already. Let's hear the guy say it.
Called it much ado about nothing. Essentially, Biden said, everyone does it.
The notion that every thought or notion or idea you'd have to go back and find and attribute to someone, I think is, quite frankly, ludicrous.
But to the political community in Washington, it all seems of a piece. Plagiarism at law school, plagiarism on the stump, for example.
But this standard is not a measure of how we can evaluate the condition of our society. It cannot measure the health of our children, the quality of our education, the joy of their play.
This is how it sounded when Robert Kennedy said those words in 1968.
Yet the gross national product does not allow for the health of our children, the quality of their education, or the joy of their play.
Biden gave Kennedy no credit. He has also quoted or paraphrased John Kennedy, Hubert Humphrey, and British Labour Party leader Neil Kinnock, all without credit.
All right, so they owned him back then for doing this. Does the guy back in 1988, does he learn anything from getting caught plagiarizing speeches from other candidates? Not so much. Joe Biden has just gotten caught again. He's gotten caught again. This time domestic policy. So, if you remember, Ocasio-Cortez and Bernie Sanders had kept saying, what's your green energy proposal? What's your climate change proposal? What's your climate change proposal? You're not going to be on board for the Green New Deal. Don't lie and say you are. So what is your particular proposal? They told us we have 12 years left. There's an asteroid that's about to hit this planet, and you have 12 years left to do something about it. Not 12 years and then do something, but 12 years. What are you going to do? What's your plan? And they hit him on this. He said, my plan is to beat Trump. Okay, that wasn't enough. All right, I'm going to give you my climate change plan. In which case, he had to hurry up and rush out a plan. Problem is, there are lines from this plan that have been picked up from other people's thing almost in whole part. Again, without giving attribution. And yeah, this is plagiarism because when the campaign was contacted about this, they say, oh, we didn't have time to add in the footnotes. All right, we didn't have time to add in the attributions. All right. So let's see what he was caught with. And I gotta be honest, Joe Biden doesn't care about this stuff. Joe Biden is like, God, man, I've been trying to get into the presidency going back to before 88. I just want to be president. The other guys, like Sanders, cares about the details because we've accepted the political device, finally, as a device used to actually get change within the society itself. Sanders wants access to that device to actually make societal change. He wants to do something positive. Biden just wants to be president. There is a vast and stark difference in those things. Whatever you want to think about Sanders, at the very least, let's be honest and say that he does want to get something accomplished. You may disagree with it, but he does want to get something accomplished with the device. Biden just wants to be president. Just want to be president because I want to be president. Pretty much the same reason Hillary wanted to be president. Just because. I don't want you there just because. The potential plagiarism instances were first flagged by Josh Nelson, the vice president of Credo Mobile and telecommunications company that also raises money for liberal activist causes. The Biden's plan, the campaign wrote about. The Biden's plan, the campaign wrote about carbon capture technology. Carbon capture technology used in storage is a rapidly growing technology that has the potential to create economic benefits for multiple industries while significantly reducing carbon dioxide emissions. But in a letter that Blue Green Alliance Executive Director Kim Glass sent to the Senate Committee on Environmental Public Works, the sentence is virtually the same. They lifted it from Blue Green Alliance Executive. All right, one of her letters. Another instances of copied lines appears when Biden campaign wrote about the goals regarding carbon capture technology. Biden's goal is to make CCUS a widely available, cost-effective, and rapidly scalable solution to carbon emissions, to reduce carbon emissions and to meet mid-century climate goals. That line is almost identical to our work section from the website for the Carbon Capture Coalition Center for Climate and Energy Solutions. A third example appears in a description of water infrastructure. Biden's plan describes U.S. sewage systems. The average American sewage pipe is 33 years old, with many pipes dating back to 50 or 100 years. The Clean Works Advocacy Group, American Rivers, has on their infrastructure section of his website essentially virtually the same sentence. Look, I strongly suspect that this is not something that Biden cares about. Again, I strongly put to you that Biden wants to be president just because he wants to be president. And when these guys are hitting him with this stuff, dude, what about climate change? What about climate change? It's like, God, man, these people are bugging me about this stuff. I just want to be a 90s president. I just want to be in office. I just want to be in president. I've been running for 30 years. Why can't you just put me in that office? Why do you need me to do things? Why do you need me to care about things? I can't just, mac the foreign leaders. Angela Merkel is leaving. I can't get my hands all over. I can't smell her hair. Can't smell her hair. That's what I think Joe Biden is. Could be wrong. Could totally be wrong. All right, I'm not going to keep this long. Just pointing out one Joe Biden campaign plagiarizing speeches on domestic policy. Again, got caught with that like 30 years ago, 20, 30 years ago. And it's doing it again. The younger generation doesn't know about the fact he plagiarized that long ago, so he now can try to get away with it. Not so much. I'll leave it here. If you guys enjoyed this content, you find yourself coming back here often, please consider supporting this content through PayPal or Patreon. I'll see you guys in about 10-15 minutes. Thanks all.